I think the best thing you could do for your MMA UFC legacy is to retire on top, undefeated, if you can, but at the most stock that you have as a champ. That's something that Khabib did. Retire like Khabib is what I'm suggesting. Khabib retired at the perfect time after a couple of defenses, after beating the biggest names, after never bleeding on cage. He retired perfect time. Now, he did it for other reasons than legacy. He did it for his father, which is, noble. That's beautiful. But he kind of got really lucky with that because retired too early, you end up like Henry Cejudo, who retired in 2022, came back 2023 and lost 4 in a row. You could end up like Israel Adesanya if you retired too late. He beat and knocked out Alex Pereira. He avenged his only middleweight loss. He was deemed as the second or even first, the best middleweight UFC champ to ever live. And then he went and lost to Strickland. He got choked out by DDP. He got knocked out by Imavov. And now he's fighting another power puncher in Pfeiffer. His legacy isn't the same. His name has been diminished. His legacy's still there. Don't get it wrong. But there's no longer that argument that he's the best middleweight, the number one over Silva. That's no longer there. That was a conversation that he would have been in talks to if he retired after beating Alex Pereira. Except he didn't. That's the problems of retiring too late. Now, when should every champ retire? That becomes a little hard question because some are new champs, some are old champs, some don't have many fights left, some should just leave, and we'll talk about them later. But first, make sure to like and subscribe. If you made it this far, if you like my content, please, I upload daily. I just want to make videos. So, let's get into it. Tom Aspinall. He should retire after knocking one of these guys out. If he can do it, do it. And then, if he wants to fight his contract, he's going to need to fight Blobs. But you might say, why doesn't he just re-sign a new contract and just keep on beating bums up? Beat that Stipe consecutive title defenses. Beat that Stipe consecutive title matches with 6. He could do it. He could just beat up on Blobs, on Bag of Milks. He could just beat them up. But why? Honestly, if you tell me when should Tom Aspinall retire, it's not after beating 10 Blobs in a row. It's after his contract's over and then he goes to boxing. Tom Aspinall has no reason to stay in the UFC. He has shown no interest in the UFC. So, leave. Leave. That's fine. He could get $10 million fighting 5 different bums, or he could make $10 million fighting Francis Ngannou once. That's one training camp. That's one potential injury where he's not going to get eye poke because of different gloves. And just retire. He has an MMA gym. He has a great family. He has a great life. At that point, leave. Leave it all behind. There's no reason, right? So when he should retire? When his contract's done, go to boxing, right? Now, Alex Pereira, also a little weird because he's at the end of the career. He has made his legend talk already, but he could fumble it real bad. He just signed an 8-fight contract, and if he fights those 8 fights to get out of that contract, we can't promise you that all of those are going to be wins, right? But let's talk about right now the path of him to retirement. He needs to be gone, and if it's up to me, my Pookie Bear will retire right there at the White House. But it's not up to me because there's still a one man waiting for him. And that's Tom Aspinall. The problem with Tom Aspinall and why I'm scared, deadly scared for Alex Pereira is that Tom Aspinall, if he beats you, it's not by close decision. It's not a controversial robbery. It's by finish. He is going to finish you. He is going to submit you or knock you the fuck out. Like all his other opponents, most of his other opponents, right? He is going to brutalize you. And if not, hopefully it's not an injury. Knee pops, eye poke, hopefully it's not something like that, right? But Tom Aspinall is such a crazy guy to bet your legacy on. You want to leave on top like Khabib did. Tom Aspinall is not an easy out. So if it's up to me, honestly, you leave after gone. You might make the fans mad. You might make the fans angry. But it's the best time to leave when you're at the peak of the sport, where you have the most aura. You just got the third belt, the third belt interim. It's still a belt. It's still a belt. But if you want to risk it all, if you want to risk it for the biscuit, risk to reward, you fight this fight, win or lose, you retire after this. Because after this, it's just a bunch of more blobs at heavyweight. He could win them, he could beat them, but if he can't beat Chanp, then what's the point? Just retire. Next person, Khamzat Chimaev. When should he retire? He just got his belt. He just hasn't defended it yet. About to get his first defense on Strickland. If he could beat it, he should continue. That's Nasty Mimavov. If he could beat him, he should continue. That's In middleweight, just a couple bums. Brendan Allen and Kyle Barajo, who I honestly believe Hamza Chimaev could just continue winning, catching win after win after win at middleweight. I think he's 15-0 right now, so he might end up 19-0. I don't think he's going to beat someone's record like Silva. So why even try? Why even stay at middleweight? To be honest, you beat these two. I think these are almost two names that you guarantee you kind of like a risk to reward, and then you go fight Jiri Prochazka, who I'm assuming is going to beat Carlos Alberg, because if Carlos Alberg wins, I don't exist no more, right? It's going to be one of those things. He should go and fight Carlos Alberg, which at that point, he should fight Jiri Prochazka for the second belt, and then retire there, because after that, it would be someone like Ankalaev, Mary, maybe an Alberg, maybe a Mirzakhanov, but that's too much risk. That's another year that we're going to wait for him. He's going to be what? He's going to be older. He has maybe 53 fights left. I think after Jiri, after the second belt, why fight even more? Why fight? I think at that point, that's the perfect time to retire before he fights someone like Ankalaev, who could maybe defend his takedowns. Maybe not, but maybe he has enough takedown awareness. Maybe he has enough body size. Maybe he has enough of the X factor to give Hamza a loss, his first loss. And why lose? Why leave at your first loss? Retire on top with your second belt. That's at Jiri Prochazka. That's at the pinnacle like Khabib did. Right. I think this is his next 3 fights if he wants to retire on top of the world. Next one, Islam Makhachev. Now, this one's a little simple. This one's very simple, matter of fact. Usman. Kamaru Usman. If he can get this fight, if he could get this name, if he could beat him up, if he could win, which is likely. Now, I'm not saying this like Usman has a 10%, 2% chance. No, Usman still got it. After Buckley, I'm never going to fucking count him out ever again, right? That being said, if Islam Makhachev could get this fight, get this win, retire there. Retire there. Why would you continue? Why would anybody continue? This is the ultimate name to have at welterweight. That is the perfect name to have a welterweight. Retire, because then you don't have to get maybe a fluky knockout loss over Michael Morales. I keep wanting to call him. Michael Morales, Ian Gary. You don't want to accidentally lose to Carlos Prates, Sean Brady, Wayne Brady. What? I fucking don't know. You don't want to lose to random people. You want to get one win, because he's already tied to the Anderson Silva consecutive wins. This name. If you're gonna break that record using Kamaru Usman's name, you're the GOAT. You're the peak. Retire on top. Retire. He could fight Ian Gary if he doesn't get Usman, but even then, retire after this one. You beat the future. Literally his nickname and the future contenders of the welterweight division, right? I don't see any reason he should continue. That's too much risk for very little reward in his legacy. Only money, only an extra little tally to the record breaking he has, but I don't see why he would continue. I think after this fight, after Usman, perfect time to leave. Perfect time to go. Just say goodbye. I'm the champ. I won. I broke this record. Fuck y'all guys. I'm the GOAT. Peace. That's how you should leave. Ilia Topuria, weird space. Quite the opposite of Islam Makhachev, because we know he's going to fight next. He's going to fight Justin Gaethje. After that, he's going to fight Arman Tsarukyan, hopefully, right? You never know with Dana White, but hopefully he fights Arman Tsarukyan. And then, unlike Islam Makhachev, who kind of just needs one more fight to retire, Ilia Topuria kind of needs a lot more. He doesn't have that quantity. He has that quality, but not much quantity. And, well, I think there's an easy road for him to just constantly get bodies after bodies after bodies. Rufi, first round 1 knockout. Patty, round 2 knockout. Benoit Saint Denis, 30-second knockout. Manel Torres, that's going to be a hard one. But at that point, you just kind of keep farming. You might retire after Benoit, maybe after Manuel Torres. At this point, he will probably, Islam Makhachev got 4 title defenses. I think as long as Ilia Topuria breaks that, he could retire. He'll retire on top. Knockouts, undefeated, beautiful record. And that's the one he should retire. Because after that, after breaking that record, the most title defenses at lightweight, what's there next? He currently has 9 win streak in the UFC. He's not going to get nowhere near close 17 like Islam Makhachev. He's not going to get nowhere close to like any other records besides the lightweight defend record. And then what's after that? who's after this. Like, there's not much left. So after this, retire, which is a lot to say. But honestly, if there's going to be anybody who's going to be able to break this and be able to knock all these guys out, it's Ilia Topuria. And that's when he should retire. Next one, Alexander Volkanovski. He should retire after he faces the winner of Murphy or Evloev. After this, my boy, I want to see Alexander Volkanovski out of here. I want to see this man out because he is 37, 38 by the time this fight happens. Maybe, I don't remember. But he's going to be old. He's going to be brittle. He's going to be still amazing. He probably is going to win this fight. He's probably going to win. He's probably going to beat whoever wins this fight. I could almost damn near guarantee you that. No, don't bet on my takes, right? But after that, it's Gene Silva. I don't think Alexander Volkanovski beats Gene Silva. Gene Silva has that power. He has that damaging strength that scares me. He has those takedowns. He has good grappling, and he's so fluid in the feet. And then even if you say he beats Gene Silva, okay, how about Costa? How about Vallejos? How about Steve Garcia? The future is here. After Murphy, after Evloev, it's a hard fight. Everything is hard. There's no guarantee that you're gonna be able to get all these guys got knockout powers. You're fighting two pillow punchers, Alexander Volkanovski. You might survive that. You're gonna survive this. You just have to win by decision. I cannot guarantee Alexander Volkanovski is not gonna get knocked out by Gene Silva. I cannot tell you a guarantee in my heart that he's not gonna get knocked out by Costa, Vallejos, Garcia. Alexander Volkanovski should retire. He should have retired, honestly, a fight ago. But he won. He did it. He proved me wrong. Now he's going to probably... I hope he retires after Murphy Evloev. But I don't know. I do hope he retires after that fight. Because after this, oh my God, I need to preface this. Killers, murderers, knockout artists. These are no jokes. Volkanovski should retire. He's old, man. I don't want to see him get knocked out a third time. Nah, retire. Next one, Peter Yan. Peter Yan is also a weird position. He's an old man in the sport, but he's kind of just new to the belt. He got his belt a while ago, but he didn't really get the fences on it like a real number 9 Lucas Tracy pound for pound GOAT would, right? So honest, but if we're being clear, if I'm being honest, after he gets done with these 3, which is a big ask, although I think he beats them all, right? Merab, I think, would be the toughest fight, and then maybe Umar, or maybe Sean O'Malley and Umar are kind of the same threat level, but I think getting over Merab is going to be the hardest one, even though he successfully did it. 5 rounds. It was beautiful. I think a Merab that's not overworked, hasn't fought 4 times that year, hasn't done press conferences, hasn't been doing skits, hasn't been traveling the world and being able to relax. That's going to be a different Merab from last time. I think this Merab is going to come out differently. If he's able to get through that Merab, this superpower different cardio maxing Merab, I think after that, it's these 2, Umar and Sean O'Malley, which is going to be tough, but I think it's doable for Peter Yan. And then after that, it's easy picking, man. After those 3 defenses, and if after those 3 defenses, he might be already in talk for being the GOAT in that weight class. After that, is these bums. I'm sorry to call you bums, but you're not beating Peter Yan. Song Yadong is shit. Absolute shit. Fucking Eamon Sahabi is 38-year-old Canadian. Sandhagen is 2 brainiacs, Beakers and Tepstudes, old. And Mauro Batista, I just don't think he has enough. I don't think he's enough to beat someone like Peter Yan. So when should Peter Yan retire after all these names? Maybe a little later. Once he becomes a definite GOAT of bantamweight, fucking, all right, you good, bro. You good. Retire then. I wouldn't even retire, to be honest. I wouldn't even retire. Because you want to retire on top? Fuck it, bro. What's another loss to your resume? You good, right? Next person, Joshua Van. And to be honest, he's what, 24, 25, 26? Too young. And I don't really see him getting past Pantoja, getting past Tyra, getting past Cap, getting past Loner Kavanagh. Those are 4 names, and one of them is probably going to beat him. It's too soon for him to retire, and I can't see him going too far. Staying champ. So, no. That's it. Bye. It's kind of hard to say how far he's going to go. I don't know. Let me know down below. When you think everybody should retire. Even talk about old champs. Right? Besides that, like and subscribe. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.